for those that are not aware of this?
Okay, so bodyboarding is a smaller board. Probably everybody knows what a surfboard is. This is like a smaller board, and you have fins you have on your feet. So you're not standing up on the board, you are lying down.
Right.
Yeah, that's the big difference between bodyboarding and surfing.
Yeah.
We do tend to look for waves that are more hollow, a little bit more shallow. We really want, I'm going to use my hands to describe it. Like
No,
we really want to get like those hollow tube waves, like really barreling waves.
Yeah.
Because it's all about the barrel or the lip maneuver, which if you ever Google bodyboarding, you will see like a bunch of pictures of really heavy waves and people in the air. So that's the beauty of bodyboarding for me. And for me, like what kind of, it's a characteristic of the sport, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what bodyboarding is. It is a younger sport than surfing. It's not like I think it's like 50 or something, 50 years old almost. Yeah, it's really radical. Like it's a really radical kind of sport.
Right.
So in competition, we have like let's say the world tour. We have different stops, different events all over the world.
Yep.
And the elimination like process is kind of like most sports. You have elimination rounds until you get like quarterfinals, then semifinals and final. In the earlier rounds, usually you have 4 people in the water at a time, like so 4 bodyboarders, which 2 will progress, the 2 who get the best scores in that 20 minutes, 30 minutes. It depends on the day, like it's decided on the day.
Yeah.
But well, from there, you know, people get eliminated until you have only 2 people in the final, and then you'll have a winner. And then the end of the year, after let's say 6, 7, 8 events, you have a world champion.
Awesome.
So,
I mean, like, the only thing I was thinking about too when we were speaking about this, and obviously, you know, as we know, waves and weather, you know, sometimes it plays its own life. How kind of like does that play into part? You know, if like sometimes I guess, you know, you get a good wave and then you get a bad wave, and talk a little about that process.
So that's the beauty of the sport, you know, it never gets boring because you have to be completely adaptable, flexible with the conditions. You have to predict a little bit what's going to happen, but you never know until the day of the competition, or even inside of the day. It changes so much with wind and tide, and so it's a very well, you have to really adapt. You have to train every condition to be prepared for whatever comes, you know. And that to me, it's what makes it interesting, because you don't have any routine. It never gets boring. No wave is the same as the one before.
Yeah.
And then of course there is a little bit of luck involved in this whole thing.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's only luck. Okay, you can get one good wave, but you know, over a course of time, it's because people know how to read the ocean, know how to predict when the wave's going to come, which one is the good one. So there is a whole other set of skills you need to have to well, to make it in competition. I think.
No, 100%. Makes total sense. And I mean, like, the more, as you were saying, the more you kind of practice all sort of waves and elements of the nature, I guess, the more prepared you are for the big competition. And it's probably one of those sports, right, where I guess the environment can change quite rapidly, just even in a competition itself. And that I would say is obviously it's more typical on the water sports side of things, but still a big factor that it can, I guess, also impact a bit